Q Country 102.9 presents Roos Day Tuesday, a weekly discussion with SUNY Canton men's basketball head coach Ben Thompson, giving you the inside scoop on all things SUNY Canton basketball. Q Country 102.9, good morning time for Roos Day Tuesday, as it is Tuesday, December 18th. The Roos are still undefeated in their conference. They have an overall record of 6-5. They're on a 2-game win streak headed into the holiday break, where the players get to go on vacation for Christmas. But the last game you guys had played at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, where the Brooklyn Nets play. Ben, tell me about that experience and ultimately getting the win against Paul Smiths.
Yeah, it was a really awesome experience for our guys. I mean, even pulling up to the arena, guys were getting excited, and they had us at the VIP entrance, and when we got to walk into the arena, guys were just kind of in awe of it. I mean, some guys have been there before, but this time, they're going to play there instead of just watch a game there, and so it was pretty neat, and guys got to take some pictures on the court, and for all of our New York guys to have family there was big. We had a lot of people there supporting us, and so it was a really neat experience. We got down a lot early. I don't know if it was the 5:30 bus time leaving or just jitters of being in the arena or whatever. But thankfully, we came out in the second half, played pretty well, and then took some pictures on the court, and then John Wall was walking through the arena.
Wow.
Kind of as we were leaving. So the guys were really excited about that, the ones that got to see him, and so it was a pretty neat experience.
That's an awesome experience to have in upstate New York. SUNY Canton, that's not an experience that many players in big colleges have, getting to play at Barclays Center. Let's talk a little bit about the game itself, playing Paul Smiths. You've seen this team before, but you saw them at your home court. That game you won 84-78. And this game you bested them 76-61. So you still scored a similar amount of points, but you held them to significantly less. What was the game plan? Was it different because you've progressed this season and your players have progressed? Was it the difference of the venue, or did you just play better defensively?
Well, so they're such a tough matchup for us because they're so quick and undersized. And so we had kind of, in preparation of the week, we had talked about some things that we didn't do very well the first time we played them, and walked through some ways to guard them. And then offensively, we made some tweaks and put in some new things that we hadn't done before to kind of counteract their defense that we had seen. And so I think both of those kind of played themselves out and bared themselves out much better in the second half. I think the first half, the guys, I don't know if it was jitters or, the new arena just kind of being such a big area. It's just different. The background, the depth perception is just off offensively. So it took them a while to get used to that. And, I think defensively, to your point, we just kind of really keyed in on a couple of the guys that hurt us last time, and we were able to kind of keep them at bay this time. Okay, so
coaching-wise, you were able to make some adjustments from Game 1 to Game 2, but ultimately the players followed the game plan in a new territory, in a new venue. Now, you guys, as you know, in the new conference, the North Atlantic Conference, now the championship game, fingers crossed that you guys get there. If you do, where is that played? Is that in a bigger venue? Does this prepare you for that at all, the bigger stage?
No, but this could prepare us for later on down the line in the NCAA tournament. We're hoping that we can, once we get back, kind of go on a run here in conference and be that one seed. That way, we get a bye through the quarterfinals, and then we get to host the conference tournament. So that's been our goal.
Yeah, and we still have about half of the season left to play, and a majority of those games are conference games. So a lot of your season comes down to what happens after break. And we'll talk about that right after we get back for Roos Day Tuesday on Q Country 102.9. Q Country 102.9 presents Roos Day Tuesday, a weekly discussion with SUNY Canton men's basketball head coach Ben Thompson, giving you the inside scoop on all things SUNY Canton basketball. Q Country 102.9, we're returning now with part 2 of our Roos Day Tuesday. With me on the phone is Ben Thompson, head coach of the men's basketball team at SUNY Canton. And, well, the Roos are done for this semester. Now they go to their Christmas break. They get to relax a little bit, but when they come back, it's right back into basketball. The mindset changes to making the tournament for the new conference, the NAC. And you've got a lot of conference games coming up. But first, a non-conference game played on the 30th against Clarkson. That one in Potsdam. What happens over break and how the players stay focused before Clarkson?
Yeah, we talked to them after the game about, making sure that when they're home, they don't have to kill themselves, but they need to try to do something every day, getting out and doing some conditioning or some basketball stuff, just doing some drill work, just trying to keep them, ready for when they come back. And so, we've got that local game against Clarkson, and we actually travel to Middlebury, who's top 25 in an elite level program. So both of those two games are kind of our last little wrap-up before our final 14 conference games.
Yeah, you've got, as you said, 14 conference games to end your season, and these games count more because it determines your seeding before the quarterfinals, semifinals, and championship in the North Atlantic Conference. Now, Ben, as you know, all of your players are breaking for the holiday. What would you wish that your players or your team as a whole could be gifted this holiday season?
Better defensive field goal percentage and defensive efficiency. We started off rough this year, so our first 2 years, I'll back that a little bit. One of the exciting things for us is this is the first time that we've been above 500 at Christmas.
Oh.
Even the first year when we won 20 games and won our first conference championship in school history, at least for the NCAA era, we were under 500, and then we went on a big run in the spring. So this is a really good position for us to be in. But our first year, we ended up being, I think, 8th in the country out of 430-some teams. Defensive efficiency, last year we were top 75, top 80. And so this year we started off rough, but we're slowly creeping our way back towards that. I think we're top 175, 160 or something with defensive efficiency right now. So that would be my biggest wish, is to get us into the top 10 defensive efficiency.
Yeah, I'll tell you, for Christmas, what I would like from the SUNY Canton Kangaroos is more home games. It's been, since the beginning of December that I got to watch the Roos at their home court, and I am excited to see them play again. But you guys aren't going to play a home game until January 4th, where you play the first of your 14-game route in conference games. You'll play Maine Maritime Academy. And what are you looking forward to getting into the conference matchups?
Yeah, I haven't looked at a ton of that yet. We try to take things, one game at a time. But I know that Maine Maritime's a good program and a good team, and they've been playing well this year. So once we get closer to it, we'll lock in and kind of figure out what we need to do to be successful against them. Yeah,
I understand that. As I said before, SUNY Canton breaking for the holiday. A lot of your players going home, spending time with their families, and getting away from basketball a little bit, and kicking back and being surrounded by their loved ones, their family members. When you guys return, you'll take on Clarkson at Potsdam on December 30th at 2 p.m. We'll talk about that more later this month. And then you travel to Middlebury College before taking on your conference slate of matchups. So a lot to still shake out for SUNY Canton. But as of right now, just wishing you a fantastic holiday season. Ben, thanks so much for calling in and talking to me today.
Hey, thanks so much. Merry Christmas to everybody, and I hope everybody has a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and go Roos.
Go Roos.